All right, so you've learned more information about the murders, including McGann's appearance as he came out of the woods. Tell us what you found out.
Well, today in the appearance in court, the judge formally read the charges, 2 counts of capital murder against McGann. He was appointed that public defender from the Arkansas Public Defender Commission to represent him. And it's not just your average public defender. They needed a death-qualified attorney who could be assigned to this due to the capital murder charges, similar to what we saw in the Brian Kohberger case in Idaho. No individual names have been named yet as far as who the attorney actually is. He was ordered held without bond, meaning he will remain in custody in the Washington County Detention Center, actually the same place that Josh Duggar, as you remember from that whole scandal, was also being held for a time. The prosecutor requested and the judge granted an order prohibiting McGann from contacting the victim's family. No plea was entered today, but the arraignment now date set for August 25th of 25 at the Washington County Circuit Court. We will find out exactly what he's going to plea at that point in time. The 25th is the date that is set right now on the calendar, but that could possibly be moved up with scheduling adjustments.
All right. Well, you know, there's been a lot of questions about McGann's background as a teacher. Man, we've been reading a lot about this, and we're hearing numerous accounts now about how he acted around children. So what are you learning?
Well, here's the disturbing reality of how Andrew McGann, rather, ended up teaching in Arkansas. I mean, despite multiple allegations of predatory and inappropriate behavior towards students in districts in Texas, and we are now starting to hear some unconfirmed allegations coming out of Oklahoma, McGann was never formally charged or even reported to authorities. Instead, he was quietly allowed to resign each time, leaving behind internal complaints locked away in confidential personnel files. Why is this? Because districts fear lawsuits, bad PR, and lengthy investigations, often leading them to handle these issues privately rather than involving law enforcement or child protective services. And compounding all this, there's no national database or requirement for schools to share disciplinary records when a teacher moves from state to state. So it's a systematic problem that really allowed this guy to fester as long as he did. Personal privacy laws and non-disclosure agreements further shield allegations from view. It's a glaring gap in mandatory reporting and inter-district communication that allowed McGann to bounce freely from one unsuspecting community to another until he allegedly ended up here in Northwest Arkansas committing these murders at Devil's Den State Park.
And you know what, Tony, you know what really strikes me, too, is that the 2 little girls that were on the trail with their parents were ages 7 and 9, and those are the ages of the kids that he was teaching in some of these other states. And we've heard stories about inviting 9-year-old girls into the classroom to have lunch with him and giving them treats and candy and Sonic drinks and stuff like that. So I think that that's just really odd that he chose a family, a mom and a dad, with 2 girls about the age of the kids that he was teaching. But we'll find out more about that later as we move through the story. At this point, what are locals saying that this alleged killer has been caught? What's the mood like? Are people relieved? Are they mad? Because he was about to start teaching school, right?
There's a sense of relief and a sense of anger at some point. The community is happy that he has certainly been found, and a big pat on the back to the authorities and the investigators that spent countless hours and 24 hours, 48 hours working this job and eventually bringing this alleged killer to justice. But the issue with it is this seemed to be a random attack. It wasn't an issue of domestic violence. This was purely random, and it's certainly going to be something that sticks on the mind of really anyone on the trails in Northwest Arkansas for some time to come.
And before I let you go, Tony, I mean, again, you have done such a fantastic job, and for us as well. We thank you for your perspective, but I also understand that you've been taking some heat for your reporting on the attacks. So what's up with that?
Well, a little bit about that. And first, I want to say my reporting has never been to insult the investigators and everyone who is working this case very diligently. It's more so on the fundamentals of the bureaucracy that handles it. The issues were 6 hours with the people in the park not having any notice that there was a homicide that was committed, and then 3 days of phone lines not working. People came to us expressing their leads, expressing what they saw, which ultimately led to the police sketch that we all saw and more detailed descriptions of the vehicle from our reporting that we handed directly over to authorities. So us calling them out on those issues of the 3 days with no phone line, that was simply to help.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.